So this is your vertex form of a quadratic. If you look at your reference sheet, remember this is the only thing that you're going to be able to have on the test. My cheat sheets, of course, are not doable. Vertex form is this right here, and you have it on your test, okay? You have it on your reference sheet, so you don't need to worry about learning them. You also have it on your cheat sheet, the cheat sheet that I just gave you. That first one, this right here, it's also on your cheat sheet, okay? So you need to keep this handy so we don't have to keep going back and forth to that first one, okay? That's why it's there. All right, so on the vertex form, this number, which is A, tells you if it opens up or if it opens down. That is called the reflection, okay? So A indicates if there's a reflection across the x-axis, right? If it's positive, it opens up, and if it's negative, it opens down. That would be A. All right, H tells you if there's a horizontal translation. So if it's moving to the right or if it's moving to the left. All you got to remember is that H is horizontal, the same letter that it starts with, right? And then K will tell you if there's a vertical translation. So that one tells you if it moves up or down. So this one tells you if it opens up or if it opens down. This one tells you how many times you need to move it right or left. And that one tells you how many times you need to move it up or down. Okay? Now, the vertex of the parabola, and let's take a look at this. The vertex of the parabola is given to you by H and K. Now, just like the slope point form, because there's a negative over there, right? If H was negative, it actually becomes x plus something, because a negative times a negative would be positive. So the H always has to be taken away from that parentheses as its opposite. Okay? Now, tell me what the vertex of that parabola is. What's the vertex of that parabola? Let's see if you know what vertex is. Say that again. 0, 0. Very good. The vertex of that parabola is this right here, which would be 0, 0. So in other words, is your axis of symmetry. What's the axis of symmetry over here? What's my axis of symmetry? No, don't tell me 0. Tell me x equals 0, right? And then that's the line that is going to divide it in half, right? So you have the axis of symmetry is that vertex. It's also, in this case, the minimum, but in the case that it opens down, it would be the maximum. All right, so you got all that down. Very good. Let's go to the next one. All right, so in here, so your parent function, I forgot to mention this, your parent function, it's always x squared. Okay, so this is the original. This is me. This is Mommy Goose, all right? That's your parent function. That's the original. And then you can change that function by moving it to the right or to the left, moving it up and down, or making it skinnier or wider, okay? So in this case, what is h? Say it again. 2. Very good. I told you that it was the opposite of what it was, so h equals 2. Now, h is horizontal, so it moves it right or left. So if it's positive 2, where do you think it moved? To the right or to the left? To the right. So this graph moves 2 units to the right. So instead of 0, 0, what would be the new vertex? 2, 0. So this would be my new vertex. So my new vertex, it went from 0, 0 to 2, 0. Now what's my axis of symmetry now? X equals 2. Thank you very much. In here, it was x equals 0. In here is going to be x equals 2. Okay? All right, let's go to the next one. What's my h on the second one? -3. Very good. The opposite. Now this one doesn't move to the right, In what direction does it move? To the left. And how many times? 3 times. So it used to be 0, 0. Now it's 1, 2, negative 3, and 0. So this one was 0, 0 with an axis of symmetry of 0. What's my vertex now? No, the axis of symmetry is x equals negative 3, but I'm asking for my vertex. Negative 3 and 0. Okay? All right. Next one. All right, now look at this. I'm not changing. There's no h, right? But I am changing my k. So what's my k now? The k does not come the opposite. It's only the h because of that negative that's in front of it. So k would be 2. That means it would be negative 2. Yes, the k is the same. The h is the one that comes out opposite. Okay? So if this is the one that changes it vertically. So this change will be up and down. So how is this moving? 2 units what? 2 units up. Very good. So instead of 0, 0, now it will be 0 and 2. All right, so this used to be 0, 0, and x equals 0. What's my vertex right now? 0, 2. But what's my axis of symmetry? Has that changed? No, it has not. It just moved up. So the axis of symmetry hasn't changed because it hasn't moved right or left. Yay? All right, let's go to the next one. What's my k now? Negative 1. That means it moved 1 unit where? To the left. So instead of 0, 0, now it's going to be negative 1 and... I'm sorry. Thank you. Down. So it would be negative 1 and 0. Thank you, guys. All right, so the vertex would be 0, 0. The axis of symmetry would be x equals 0 for my parent function. This is me. This is mommy. What about here? What's my vertex? 0 and negative 1. And then what's my axis of symmetry? X equals 0. It hasn't changed. Good job. All right. So talk to me. What's my h now? 3. And what's my k? 1. Which means it moved 3 units where? Not that the h is horizontal, so to the right. And 1 unit up. So you're going to take that 0, 0 and move it 3 times to the right. 1, 2, 3. And then 1 unit up. So this was 0, 0, x equals 0, right? What's my vertex now? 3 and 1. Look at right here. Isn't the vertex h and k? 3 and 1. And what's my axis of symmetry? X equals, not 3, x equals 3. Thank you. Are we good? Pretty easy, right? Oh, yes, very much so. All right, what's my h? Negative 1. And what's my k? Negative 2. All right. This means it moved how many times? 1. And what location? Left. And then down 2. Very good. So 1 to the 1 left, 2 down. So this used to be 0, 0, x equals 0. My vertex is negative 1 and negative 2, h and k, right? My vertex is h and k. And then what's my axis of symmetry? X equals, thank you, x equals negative 1. Yay? All right. Next one. All right, so what's my h and what's my k? Negative 7 and positive 3. So what's the vertex of that parabola? The translator vertex is located at what point? Negative 7 and 3. H and K. The vertex is always H and then K. All right. Are we good? I feel like I'm moving way too fast. Are we good? All right. So this one you guys already know that, right? If A is positive, it opens up, but if A is negative, it opens down. We don't need to go over that. You guys know that. Now this is the new thing, okay? When A is bigger than 1, it stretches vertically. And when A is smaller than 1, basically, but not negative numbers, right? So I guess I should say between bigger than 0, but not bigger than 1. So between 0 and 1. Then there is a vertical compression, or compresses vertically, okay? So you need to think about, what does that mean? If you, this is vertically, right? Up and down. If I stretch vertically, right? You get taller, right? But if, as you stretch, and believe it or not, this will happen, especially if you have lonjitas, right? If you have lonjitas, right? If you got little love handles, right? When you go like that, they don't show. They don't show. So yeah, I was gonna say something, but I'm recording, right? So when you go like that, your lonjitas don't show, right? Right. So in reality, you become what? You become skinnier, right? You become slimmer. There you go. You become skinnier, right? Right. But when you compress, right? You go like that, and then your lonjitas. Oh my God! Look at my lonjitas. You become. Look at them. Right? I gotta go like this. How you doing? Right? Like this. All right. So when you compress, right? When you compress, it's like when you're trying to press down, right? Does that make sense? Yes? Then all your lonjitas show, right? So then you are, I'm shorter, but what? But fatter. There you go. Right? Because my lonjitas show, right? So when the number is bigger than 1, like this, look at A. What's my A right here? 2. I go like this, and I don't show my lonjitas, right? So that means that when it stretches vertically, it becomes slimmer, right? So it becomes long but skinny because I'm stretching it vertically. It's almost like if somebody pulls me, right? If you pull the rubber band this way, it's going to become right? It's going to become slimmer. It's going to break out at some point, right? But it's going to become it's going to stretch vertically, so that means it's going to be long and skinny, right? So should I write slimmer? Is that at 1 M or 2 M's? I don't know. That looks weird. I think it's 1. All right. It's okay. Let's move it around. It's okay. But so it's slimmer, right? So in this one, it's a vertical stretch because it went from this wide to only that wide, okay? So when the number is bigger than 1, when it's 1, it doesn't change. It stays just like that. But when it's 1.3 or even 1.1, then it became a little slimmer, right? So it became, because then you cannot see your lonjitas, so it becomes a little slimmer, right? But when the number is bigger than 0 but smaller than 1, like 1/3, that's 0.33333, right? Then that's when you compress, right? And you were able to see all of Miss Marine's lonjitas, right? So then I was a little chubbier and bigger, right? All right. So this right here would be fatter or chubbier or whatever you want to call it. I don't want to call it fat. Fluffy! I don't know how you spell it. This is why I teach math. I'm just saying. All right. Yep. Yep. All right. So, are we good? Are we good? What? Yeah, Christian is being stupid. Thank you. Thank you. You know what? And it's your classmates telling you. Not even me. He needs to grow up. That's all I gotta say. Nah, I said Chris, not Christian. I'm sorry. No, Christian is a good one. Christian is a good one. Yeah, the other one that's here, it's the one that messes everything up. All right, let's go. All right, so over here, yeah, I'm ignoring because that it's better that way. All right, so over here, this one will become it's smaller than 1, so you will have a compression. You see it? So you will have a compression because you're getting yourself, you're compressing it, so you're making it chubbier, right? But this one would be a what? That would be a vertical stretch. This would be a vertical stretch. But this one, what would this one be? What is 1 divided by 1/2? You may want to do it before you tell me. 1 divided by 1/2. It's how many times does 1/2 go into 1, right? That would be what? 2? This is 2, right? A lot of people want to say, a lot of people want to say that that is a compression because they see that 1/2, but in reality is a what? It's a vertical stretch because it's bigger than 1, right? So anything that's bigger than 1, you're going to stretch it vertically. Anything that's between 0 and 1, you're going to compress it so it's going to become wider, okay? Yes. No, no, that's completely different. No, sir. No. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter. The negative number just means that it opens down instead of up. That's all. All right? That is all. All right, let's go to this one. Hmm? It does not matter that the number is negative. All right, so in here, what we're going to do in here is instead of the main, we're going to do the vertex. And instead of range, we're going to do the axis of symmetry, okay? So change that in your calculator. I mean, not in your calculator, in your paper. I don't know how you do that in your calculator. All right. Where's your coffee? I don't know. I don't have milk. That's why I've only had 1 cup of coffee. I need another one. Yeah, I don't have my coffee without my milk. Mm-mm. We don't use creamer. Nope, we sure don't. No. Puerto Ricans do coffee with hot milk. We don't do creamer. No, we don't. All right, let me move. All right, what's my A? 2. What's my H? 2. Positive 2. And what is my K? Say that again. 0. Thank you. You don't have it, so what is it? It's 0. Very good. Now tell me my vertex. 2 and 0. Very good. Tell me my axis of symmetry. X equals 2. Very good. Okay, now let's figure out what it has done. What does the 2 does? Vertical stretch or vertical compression or compression, horizontal compression. That's a stretch. It's bigger than 1. So we have a vertical stretch over here. What does the H do? Look at your cheat sheet if you don't know. Move it to the right, not to the left, to the right. How many times? Twice to the right. And then that K equals 0 is not going to do anything right to it. It's just going to move to the right. It's not going to move up or down. Are we good? All right, let's do the vertex. Let's do A. I like to first do all three letters. What's A? Really? There's a 0 over there for A? What is A? 1. Thank you so much. There's a difference between multiplying and not being there. I don't have to say plus 0. Correct? I don't have to write 1 times X. It's just 1X. But the A is 1. Okay, what about the H? Negative 2. And what about my K? 0. All right, tell me my vertex. Negative 2 and 0. Tell me my axis of symmetry. Negative 2. All right, so tell me what kind of changes does it have? Does the A do anything to it? No, it doesn't reflect it because it's not negative. This one opens up or opens down? Opens up. Okay, so this one opens up, right, because the A is positive. What does the negative 2 as the H does? Moves it to the left. How many times? 2. And then the K equals 0 is not going to do anything to it. It's not going to move it up or down. Are we good? All right, what is A? What is B? I'm sorry, what is H? 1. And what is K? 3. All right, talk to me about my vertex. 1 and 3. Talk to me about my axis of symmetry. X equals 1. Very good. All right, what does the A do? What does the A tell me? That it opens up. What does the H tell me? That you move it to the right 1 time, right? What does the K tell me? You move it up. How many times? 3 times. Good job, my babies. This is pretty easy, isn't it? Very easy to do. I'm telling you, we've already been through the horrible part of Algebra 1. Yeah, we have. All right, so tell me A. Negative 1. Tell me B. And tell me H. 0. Thank you. H is 0. Tell me K. There you go. All right, let's do the vertex first. Yes, it opens down, but let's do the vertex first. What's my vertex? 0 and 5. And what's my axis of symmetry? 0. Now, it does open. Opens down. The H is not going to do anything, so it's not going to move up right or left. But the 5 tells me that it moves to the right 5 times. I'm sorry, up. I need some coffee. Yes, I do. Alright, so it moves up 5 times. Yay? Alrighty. Alright, so we got to write this in vertex form. So vertex form would be y equals A. I'm just looking at my cheat sheet if you don't know. I don't expect you to know it right now. It's right there. X minus H square plus K. Yay? So I got to write it in that form. And then I said, heck, how do I do that? The only thing that I can find from the graph is my vertex. Stop playing. The only thing that I can find from the vertex, from the graph, is my vertex. What's my vertex? 2 and 0, which means H is 2. Yay? And K is 0 because the vertex is H and K. Right? The vertex is H and K. So the only thing that I have my H, I have my K, so the only thing that I need would be A. Now, I can tell you that A is what? Positive or negative? It's positive, but I don't know which number is it, right? So this is where the calculator comes in very handy. That is a quadratic equation, right? How do I know that it's a quadratic equation? It's a what? It's in the shape of a parabola. Very good. So yes, it's a quadratic because quadratics are in shapes of parabolas, right? So all I need to do is look for 2 more points that I can read from the graph and then go to my calculator, and instead of doing a linear regression, I'm going to do a quadratic regression. But you need to remember that for a quadratic regression, you need at least 3 points. The vertex is most definitely one of them. Okay? So, I'm going to go ahead and write my X and my Y table. I'm going to start with my vertex, 2 and 0. And then pick 2 points that you can read. 0 and 4. And then I just like to go across and find the one that has the same Y, right? So it would be 4 and 4. And then you come to your calculator and you work your magic. I'm sorry, you don't. She does. Alright, so let's go to stat. Clear your calculator. That's the first thing you do. And let's go ahead and write those points. 2, 0, and 4. 0, 4, and 4. Make sure that they're correct. Go to stat. But when you go to calculate, instead of doing a linear regression, you're going to do a what? A quadratic regression. So instead of 4, this is going to be 5. So you got to remember 2 things. 3 points. You cannot do 2. You got it. Actually, if you put 2, it will give you error. You need at least 3 points, correct? And then you also need to do 5 instead of 4 in the calculator because you're going to do a quadratic regression. So I'm going to press 5. I'm going to go all the way now. And then all I need is my, all the way down. And all I need is my A. What's my A? 1. So let's go ahead and plug it in. So what's the function? Y equals, well, I don't have to write down the 1, do I? X minus 2 square. Do I really need to say plus 0? No, I don't. I'm done. That's it. Yeah, it's extremely hard. All right, so let's go to the next one. Let's get the vertex. What's my vertex? 0, 0. Let's get 2 more points that I can read. You need to make sure that they're points that you can read. I'm going to pick 2 and 7 and negative 2 and 7. Yay? And then I'm going to come over here and do my linear regression. Alright, so 0, 2, 2, and negative 2. It's really easy to mess up, so you need to be careful. 0, 7, and 7. Stat, calc, 5, all the way down. What's my A? Alright, I'm going to change that to a fraction. I just like it in fractions. You're not going to see them as decimals on the test. So let's change that 1.75 as to a fraction. That will be 7 over 4th. That's my A. What's my H? 0. And what's my K? Alright, so what's my function? Y equals what? And that's it. Because you don't need to do the minus 0 or the plus 0 for either the H or the K. Are we good? Now, that number is bigger than 1, right? So you just stretch it what? Vertically. See how it's a little skinnier? Because you just went like this. And no lonjitas. Alright? Yay? Alright, let's go to the next one. I'm sorry, sometimes the lonjitas are so big they don't go away. But it's okay, you still try, right? Mine sometimes don't go away. Alright, so let's go to the next one. Alright, what's my vertex? What's my vertex? 0, not 5. Negative 5. Alright. 0 and negative 5. Let's pick 2 points that we can clearly read. The 2 that I picked were what? 3 and 3. And negative 3 and 3. Alright, let's do a quadratic regression. So 0, 3, and negative 3. Negative 5, 3, and 3. Stat calc 5. All the way down. Woo! Alright, so I don't want it like, I don't want that 0.888888, right? So we're going to go ahead and change it to a fraction. Remember, when you're telling the calculator that that's a repeating decimal, you got to go all the way to the end until you cannot see. Yeah. Oops. Until you cannot. Oh my God, what did I do? Point 0.8. Right, until I see the arrow, right? Until I see that arrow. And then I go math, fraction, and then I do my thing. And it's 8 over 9. So A equals 8 over 9. What's my H? This is your vertex, right? Is that your vertex? 0 and negative 5. So what's my H? 0. And what's my K? Negative 5. All right, so what's my function? Y equals, you got to plug it in over here, right? 8 nines. Actually, I don't have an H, so do I need to put parentheses? No, so you just got to put x squared. But I do have a K, and what's my K? Minus 5. Are you with me? Pretty easy, right? No? We're having trouble? All right. What's my vertex? Negative 4 and 0. And let's label it. You know what? We need to start highlighting those vertex on our tables so that we don't get confused. All right? Because that's my H and that's my K, right? Let's start highlighting them. All right, let's pick 2 points that we can clearly, those two, read. So negative 1 and? Yeah, you can read those two. I picked the top ones. I think we're going to get the same thing. I picked negative 1 and 8, but she's right. You can also read this too. It really doesn't matter. I'm going to still go with the big ones, okay? With the highest one, but you can go with that one. You should get the same thing. All right, and then this one would be negative 7 and 8. I do know that the A has to be positive, right? Because it opens. Oh, that's how you know that you're doing it correctly. So let's go and do our quadratic regression. Negative 4, negative 1, and negative 7. And then 0, 8, and 8. Notice that one number on the Y also always repeats, right? So we're going to do 5. All right, so that was what? 8 nines? A equals 8 nines. What is H? Negative 4. And what is K? 0. So now I got to come over here and subtract, right? I mean, not subtract. Plug it in, right? So Y equals 8 nines. Do I have an H? Yes, so I have to put the parentheses. You see the difference? And X plus 4, because that negative times that negative will be positive. And then that's it, because I don't need to say plus 0, right? Are we good? All right, do you think you can do 5 and 6 as a group? Go for it.